The candle we light today reminds us that in the darkest times, the light comes. Tonight, for example, for those who celebrate Christmas, is First Advent. We have Hanukkah, the festival of lights, which are coming. There's the solstice, where it is the longest night and the light comes back. And then we have the light of Kwanzaa. And I was really thinking about this today, is we need the external light to remind us, truly, to light our own internal light. Mary Oliver has a poem called The Buddha's Last Instruction. And in that poem she says, "Make of yourself a light," said the Buddha before he died. And I know how important it is during this season that as we light our chalice, we ourselves become the light of justice, compassion, interdependence, and social movement and change. I invite you to join me in saying the chalice lighting words this morning, and I'll show you the symbols, the signs for this, and join me as you're willing and able. We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. And we light this chalice for the energy of action. For the energy of action. For the energy of action, because we are needed today. Am I right? Thank you.
All right, we will continue our group participation with our affirmation. You can say it out loud, read along, listen to the group reading, or otherwise participate as you wish. We need each other, and so we come to this place to work and dance and laugh and cry and think. We call ourselves a religious community, not because this place is in itself holy ground, but because what we do here and say here and are here make it so. So let it be.
Why not write a sermon, they said. Why not just share my thoughts in a careful and considered way? Well, because I have a deep and radical trust in that which guides us, those supreme values of how to be in the world, our true north, that has brought us here today. What we believe, what we know is true, what is our compass. And I have a deep and radical trust that together, somehow, through a probably predictably messy and most likely chaotic way, we will create something beautiful, something meaningful, and something powerfully true to every one of us. I have a deep and radical, I remind you that radical means to the root, all the way down. Roots and branches, remember? I have a deep and radical trust and a belief that we, either as brand new visitors today or online, whether we've been lifelong UUs or new to Unitarian Universalism, I have a radical trust that we all have good news to share, that we have something of worth to honor, because that is the very definition of worship. We're not here to worship and bow down to any supreme anything. What we are here to do is to give honor to that which we value, our most inner light. And those values require something, a structure to hold them so they don't become rigid and cold and lose their vitality. It's one of the reasons that Jesus came to the temple, remember? To overturn the rigidity. In order to maintain the dynamic reality of what we value, we create a liturgy. And the liturgy simply means this: it is the work of the people. Our principles, our social justice initiatives, is our combined work. Our history of Unitarian Universalist is predicated on the priesthood of all believers. And my role as a minister here today is to co-create with you the fulfilling, challenging, alarming, and joyful act of putting together our very many differing ways of expressing our deepest held value. It has been so from the beginning, and so it may be today. So, I'd like to orient you to the how. Those of you at home, if you don't have two pieces of paper, I think that Cynthia Grace is also putting on the chat, you will see in your chairs that you've got two different colors of paper. See? And pens. Everybody has that. On the green one, I'm going to invite you to write your value. One sentence, could be a word. Okay? And I'll give you the full instructions. On the pink one, an element. Now, an element can be a character, a person, a thing, an imaginary anything. Okay? Just one. Use your imagination. And then, after you have finished doing that, Avery will collect these slips of paper, and because they're two different colors, I'll know what to do. Okay? So here's what comes next. After we have collected this, I need a drum roll, please. No, I mean, seriously, I need a drum roll. I'm warming you up for what we're going to do, okay? Avery's going to collect them, and he will, once we're done, he's going to choose one value. And then he's going to choose 5 elements, and he's going to hand them to me. And then together, I'll read them out, we will improvise a story that includes 5 of these to tell us what this is about. Okay? Now, improvisation has several rules. One, you might think, is there are no rules, but there are. In improvisation, what we do is we say yes and to whatever comes. Nick was really kind enough to remind me that one of the ministers here before had said that improvisation basically is radical vulnerability. Radical vulnerability. And I come here today in my radical vulnerability, inviting you to enter with me into this act of co-creation however you're comfortable. It could be with joining in presence and sounds, you can get up, or simply your presence and your consent to participate is enough. So I would like to ask you, are you all willing to engage with me in the creation of our worship service this morning? Yes. Thank you. All right, music while we do this. Please, Nick. What I forgot to tell you is that we're going to go for 3 stories. Now, there's a caveat. Are you surprised that there's a caveat? No. The caveat is once we get going and the story takes us, then we follow the story. Okay? So while there is a structure, and it just came to me, while there is a structure, it's also a structure we say yes and. So I actually am giving myself and everybody here full permission to yes and. Okay? Absolutely. Okay. How are we doing, Avery?
We are almost done. We're in a home stretch.
Home stretch. Okay. Whoo! All right. Avery.
Time for the magic.
Value number 1, please.
Value number 1 will be
respect the humanity of every person in my life. Okay. And how are we going to do that? Oh, hello. I think we're already there, huh? All right. We're going to have love. What else? No, another pink, please. A tree. Oh, see, there's a tree's coming.
you had one online that was water.
Water. Tree, water, love. You got to help me, because if I forget something, you got to shout it out to, hey, what happened to the water? And I go, poof. Aw, roses. Roses. All righty. A houseless person. Ah. I need one more pink. Oh, there's another online? Yep. What? Woman at the well. Shall we go with that one? A woman at the well. Well, we remember, don't we? Don't we remember the women at the well? Do you remember how ages and ages and ages ago there were sacred wells of water, and the women would tend to the water? The women at the well were filled with love and compassion. Love and compassion for all things. Yes, the trees, the roses. Ah, they were so full of love. And then one day, the hordes came. You know, those who would want to take the water for themselves. Those who did not believe in kindness or compassion for anybody or anything except for what they wanted, and they took the women of the well. Did you know that? But you know what they didn't take? Can you guess what they didn't take? What they could never take? Love. Do you know what they could never take? What? Love. Well, you remember the trees, don't you? And one day, one of the women of the well who had absolutely survived. You know how she survived? Can you guess? Anybody?
She
how she survived having been destroyed. How did she survive? She held on to the tree. She held on to the tree for dear life. And when the winds blew, help me out with the wind. When the winds blew, how did the winds blow again? What did she do? She held on to the tree that was rooted all the way down to the center of the earth. And do you know what's all the way down at the center of the earth? What? Lava. Now, you know what lava sounds like? Love. Isn't that amazing? That at the center of the earth is love lava. I want to walk on love lava. You? Back to the woman at the well, sitting by the tree. She's been saved by love. And what did she see? Coming down from very far away, someone walking, shoes worn, clothing thin, no hat, and the wind was blowing. Help me with the wind. A gentle wind this time. A wind that was wafting with love, with care, with compassion. And the closer this person came, the more that the woman of the well could see their eyes. Their eyes were not despondent. There were no tears. What there was, this houseless person, this person who walked the earth lightly. And the woman at the well said, "Stranger, are you thirsty?" And the stranger said, "I am." "Stranger, are you hungry?" And the stranger said, "I am." And the woman at the well said, "Stranger, are you weary? Are your feet tired? Does your soul need respite?" And the stranger said, "It does." And the woman at the well said, "Come, sit by me by the tree whose roots reach deep into the ground, into the center of the earth. Drink, eat, rest. For we are all to be kind and compassionate to every single human that we meet. May it be so. Wow. From 6 people, a story that captures not only this value, but a deeply held Unitarian Universalist value. Wow. Okay, are we ready for story number 2? I am. All right, Avery, let's see.
Is there anyone else who wanted to contribute?
Now that you know what's going on, yeah, bring it. She wanted to contribute. Nick, that was lovely. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, okay, right up my alley. Respect, kindness, something funny. Is that perfect? Okay, I have my orders. Something funny, and who shall be in this respect? Ready? Strong women. All right, who's with me on strong? It doesn't matter what gender you are. All right, strong women. Come on, everybody. Athena. All right, strong women. Space travel. Woo! Beware up there, I might just travel to you. All right. A shaman, oh, buddy. All right, shaman. Give me some shaman vibes. Oh, all right, hold on. Shaman vibes over here. Let me hear. Awesome. How about space travel back there? All right. Oh, a neighbor. You got a neighbor? All right. Won't you be my neighbor? All right, we got that. All right, let's all try that. Won't you be my neighbor? This has possibilities. And is there one from online, Cynthia Grace? Okay. Okay. And a sister. Right? Sister. Sisters. You all know that movie? All right. Something funny. Well, I'll tell you something funny. Do you remember on the way to the forum? Right? The old Greek, on the way to the forum, these things that happened. Well, on my way to come to tell stories with you this morning, you will never, ever believe what happened. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. Shh. Suddenly, a spaceship landed right in front of our car, and my dear, darling, very patient husband said, "Now what have you gotten us into? I know you're a strong woman, but come on, a spaceship?" I said, "Honey, what can I do?" You got to respect even the aliens. You got to be nice to them. Well, imagine my surprise when. Do you all remember Encounters of the Third Kind? All right, let's do it. Hold on. And coming down from the big egg-shaped spaceship came out the most stunningly beautiful, resplendent, strong woman shaman. Ooh. Wow, said my husband. Somehow he makes it into the stories. I don't know. How'd you do that? I said, I just respect everything that comes my way. And behind her, behind the strong shaman, was a little girl. Big smile. And I asked her, of course I asked her. I said, what did I ask her? Who are you? And she said, I'm her sister. I'm her sister. And I said, so what do you want to be when you grow up? And she says, well, see, she's really strong, and she can talk to the animals. You know why? Because she's a shaman, right? That's what they do. They travel between worlds. I said, yes. And I said, so what do you want to be? And she said, I would just like to be kind to the trees and the roses and the women of the well and the people who have no homes and everybody I meet. I just want to be kind and respect them. I said, so basically what you're saying to me is, would you be my neighbor? You know what she said? Anybody have any idea what she said? I'd love to, she said. Exactly. I would love to because, she said, you don't have to be strong, and you don't have to be a shaman, and you don't have to go in a spaceship. All you have to do is be kind and respect everything. I said, everything? You know what she said? Yes. What? Do you mean everything? Yes. Do you mean everything? Do you? Everything that exists in this world? Everything. Even QR codes. Okay. QR codes. I know. Who thought that? Kindness, respect for all things. Spaceships, trees, roses, and an Edmonds UU congregation that lives it. Ain't that something? Okay, how we doing, everybody? Yeah? All right. Now I'm going to have a little water. And Avery, see what comes next. Can't do it. Sorry, I was going to dramatically take off my sweater because it is warm, but not going to happen. Social justice, yes? All right. With a black lab. Oh, okay, universe. Thank you for that one. An annoying brother-in-law. Oh, we know where this is going. Oh, boy. Okay. Ron Weasley. Righty. Woo. All right, and two more. A hot dog. Of course, a hot dog. How could you have social justice without a hot dog? And I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. And a fire. A fire. All right, Avery, I'm going to enlist your help in taking off the sweater, please. Thank you. Whew. It gets warm. All right. Social justice. A black lab, Ron Weasley, hot dog, a fire, and an annoying brother-in-law. You had to do it, eh? Oh, you know what's so terrible? What is absolutely terrible is when fires go out of control. I don't know if you've ever seen a fire. Have you ever seen a fire up close? It's scary. When I was a little girl, there was a fire in the town where I lived. And I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I had a black lab. And he was the sweetest black lab in the world. He would follow you wherever you went. And you know what he would do? With his nose sometimes, he'd just push me along. But I was a little girl. And in my town, there was a hospital. And the people who built the hospital, actually, the construction company who built that hospital was built by a very, very, very annoying brother-in-law. He was so annoying that he didn't follow all the plans. No, he did not. He was so annoying that he left some safety measures out of the plans. He was so annoying that he didn't provide sprinklers at the hospital. So, you can imagine. How did this fire happen? How did the fire happen? Somebody was roasting a hot dog. Easy enough to do, right? You roast a hot dog in a hospital room, of course, right? You didn't come in a spaceship, did you? No, everybody knows that. Well, when you're walking down the street, and we all were, because it was a very, very small town, all of the townspeople gathered and watched as the hospital went up in flames, outraged because the annoying brother-in-law had failed to provide safety. Not even Ron Weasley with magic could have come to save all the people. He tried. He got on the first spaceship that had left. He brought roses. He brought the women of the well. He brought kindness and love. But the fire raged on. My black lab started howling. Have you ever heard a black lab howl? It was sad. It was tragic. And do you know what happened? Anybody have an idea? I do. All the churches you had an idea about what happened? You did? Can you tell me? No?
I think she was just stretching.
Oh, she was just stretching. Well, maybe we can all stretch. That's not a bad idea. All the churches in my little town got together. Everybody. All the ministers, all the people. And do you know what they said? We will never let this happen again. And so they formed what? A social justice committee. And there, do you know where they held it? Where? Where? Come. On the spaceship. With the shaman who smelled the roses and the women at the well. They held it at the Unitarian Universalist Church, of course. Because as you remember, Unitarian Universalism was born out of two things. Number one, out of the Protestant Reformation that said this: every one of us can read and know what is true because we can, and, I don't know if you know this, turned the world upside down. It was the first time in history that women and men were equal, were granted equal access to do what? To worship. And what values did they worship? Justice, equity, compassion, kindness, respect. Did you know that? That's why you're here. And from the Universalist, do you know what they said? Universal salvation for all. Not just for some. Not just for those who have homes and houses, but for the stranger, known or unknown, for the earth that gives us life and breath, sun and stars that gives us joy and suffering, for everybody. And you know what they said, the Universalists? Give them hope, not hell, which is where the annoying brother-in-law well, let's stay with justice, equity, and compassion for all. We will offer him even, as we do our neighbors, hope, love, compassion, respect. Amen. We have created together. We have let the world which needs us in. And now, let us take a moment to ground ourselves. Ground ourselves in a sacred moment of meditation where we prepare ourselves for reflection. Please find a comfortable position, whatever that feels like for your body this morning. Relax your head and neck, soften your gaze, or close your eyes. And breathe. Just breathe. You know what you need. Listen deeply to your own breath. And let us enter the quiet and not necessarily the silence. May solace come upon you, power rise within you, and peace settle on your heart. May it be so. Thank you for sharing your gifts with one another and with me. Let us now release the flame. Please join me in the words printed on the screen as we release the flame of our burning chalice. Okay, ready? All right. We release this flame, but not the light of truth. We release this flame, but not the warmth of this community. We release this flame, but not the fire of our commitment. These we will carry in our hearts until we meet again. Friends, the service begins as our service ends. Go in peace, practice love. Amen.